Hey guys, the Texas weather has finally cooled down enough so I can get busy on some wood again. And I wanted you guys to be a part of it. These are my last two pieces right here. I had about 40 slabs, made a bunch of tables, and this right here, this piece and this piece, they're gonna be both outdoor tables. So what I'm gonna do is, before I sand them, they both have massive holes like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'll end up taping the bottom of this right here, and I'll flip it over because the bottom of this is gonna be the top surface. And I'm gonna use a UV protected epoxy to go in and fill these holes. And then I'm gonna end up doing UV epoxy across the entire surface on both of these. This right here is gonna be my buddy Tyler's. And then this one right here is gonna be an elevated bar top. It's kind of got some funky motion. You kind of see it poking out over there. But yeah, it's gonna be an elevated bar top. Should be able to seat, I don't know, probably about 12 to 14 people. It's about 10 feet in length. So, but yeah, I'm excited to get back to it. Like I said, the Texas weather has been brutal. So I'm going to get out there and get some sun and throw down. But I will go through this step by step. And if you guys have any questions about woodworking or something you guys may want to do on the side, I'm fairly knowledgeable in it, so I might be able to provide some tips. I had to learn the hard way a lot of the time, so I know all those speed bumps, and it's time consuming as well. So yeah, I'll keep you posted, and I'll make some quick videos on this and just go step by step with it. Have a good day. Okay, so I got started on this bad boy. As you can see on there's some pieces. I went through and took this edge down and made it squared up as the other side. And now what I'm doing here is I'm filling in all of the cracks that go all the way through with masking tape. And this hole's pretty big right here, so that epoxy that I pour in there can get kind of heavy. So I'm gonna use this piece of cardboard right here to support it. And then with the epoxy, I'll probably just pour about an inch and let it set overnight and dry, and that'll be a strong foundation. So then we won't be putting so much weight on the tape. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. As you can see, that's a pretty decent sized hole, so it's going to take quite a bit of epoxy. But yeah, this was the second step, and we'll get on to the next. Okay, so I got that underside taped. Be able to see right there. And I can almost guarantee that that I'm gonna have some leakage, because all these little cracks in here, I taped it from underneath. What I'm worried about is like right here, that crack right there. So, like I say, we're just gonna pour about an inch, and then we'll let that dry overnight, and it'll probably fill a lot of the holes in. But yeah, in the past I poured the entire hole in the wood, and if you got a crack and it leaks, it just keeps going, and it doesn't stop. It can get messy quick. So yeah, I'm gonna mix up the epoxy right here. This is gonna be the hardener, and this right here is the resin. It's 2 parts, just 1 and 1. Some of them come 2 to 1. I always prefer 1 to 1. It's just easier to mix and make it right the first time. But yeah, these are UV protected. With these both going to be outdoor tables, it's going to need it, because if you use just regular epoxy, over time it'll start yellowing, and we don't want that. We're putting the work in and we want to get it done right the first time. Okay, so I mixed up about 8 ounces of epoxy. This is going to be the first round of it, and let the games begin. Yeah. Okay, we're moving on to the next step. I was able to get all of the epoxy poured. It looks kind of like a rain cloud. It came out pretty decent. But the next step is I'm gonna have to get in here and sand all of this stuff and get it back down to the wood. And then I'm gonna put a UV protectant across the entire top. And then the next step after that is I'm gonna get just basically masking tape and leave it about maybe a 1/4 inch higher than the surface of the wood. And I'm gonna do that all the way around. And then I'll come back and pour epoxy like I did right here. And there'll be epoxy across the entire top to keep it a smooth surface, easy to clean since it's gonna be an outdoor table. And yeah, so that's where we're at. A little bit of epoxy everywhere. I'll get it sanded down and get back on camera with you. So I just poured the first layer of epoxy across the entire top of this. I probably should have been shooting video showing how it's applied and all that, but this table over here that all this stuff's sitting on, that's gonna be my next piece, and I'll do better at filming it. But what I did was I took some masking tape and I made basically a dam, a barrier all the way around. And yeah, we ended up going with some gray epoxy right there. I showed that in the last video. But yeah, the clear epoxy, if you pour it, it will stay like glass and crystal clear. But if I use a popsicle stick and I stirred it a little bit and it clouded up. So instead of having a cloudy clear table that you can't see all the way through, we just decided to go ahead and go with some blackish gray. But yeah, you can see that gloss on the table, the reflection. And yeah, that's our first pour. And then the next step after this, once this dries, I have basically an acrylic UV protectant so we can protect this bad boy from all the weather elements. But yeah, that's it. Like I say, once I get started on this guy over here, I'll do much better at filming and showing a lot of the technique and putting down the epoxy as well as the polyurethane and stuff like that. So see you next time. So this table I was building was for my buddy Tyler and his wife Devin. And I was a complete jackwagon. I didn't do enough filming on the techniques and how to, the way the sanding is, the way you lay down the epoxy, as far as like covering the entire table. I would always just do it and then shoot a video showing what I did. But like I say, I've got one more piece, and I really am gonna get down and do better at filming. I'm a complete rookie at this. It's new to me, but I'm trying to get familiar with it because we're gonna be pumping that core bench and getting that piece of equipment going. And it's my baby, I created it, but really it's the most functional piece of equipment ever made, and you'll be able to see that for yourself. But back to the table, I'm over here at my buddy Tyler's house, and the intention was for me to put all that UV protectant to protect it from the sun. Well, we got it back there and had 1 mil on it, and it was gonna be raining that night. And Tyler's wife, Devin, said, this thing's coming inside, it's too pretty. So I want to show you guys the final product. And all this dark color in here, this is called spalding. And it's just, as the wood ages, it starts taking on all that character. Even that black part right there. So yeah, this thing, there's more layers on here than any table I ever did. But yeah, there's that cool epoxy. Earlier in the video, I told you that we were just gonna do it clear, but it got cloudy, so we just went ahead and put a rain cloud in there. And then I had to get real tricky with all this because this is super soft, brittle wood. But I just got a Dremel and I started carving it out and came up with it. And these, you know, I showed you maybe in some of the video, but yeah, these would be like a deep crack right here that would travel this way. So I'd have to snap the wood off and then just get my belt sander and carve that out. So it's cool. It adds some movement to the table. But yeah, this is the final product. I think it came out clean. Like I say, that next video, I'm gonna provide a lot more information. You're gonna be sick of me. Thank you guys, and please subscribe to my channel. Like I say, we have the fitness equipment coming, as well as we're gonna be doing recipes for quick, healthy eating, food prep for the entire week, and yeah, our supplements too. We do supplements too. So we did, we make some really cool products. You know, they're not one-dimensional. So our day formula is basically like a pre-workout, but there's stuff in there for probiotics for gut health. There's brain health in there. There's turmeric for inflammation in your body. Just a number of things. We didn't want to go one-dimensional. Like I say, we wanted simple. And we wanted something that was kind of like an all-in-one. So check us out, McCallfitness.com. Thank you, and thank you for watching.